It's live.
Hello there. How you doing? Welcome to another stream. We're on our way to somewhere else in India. We're currently in India. This is stream 27. So, or leg 27 anyway, maybe not all streams. Yeah, so where are we actually going? One second. So we're going from, and excuse the poor pronunciation, Ahmedabad in India, which is on the west coast. And we're heading towards Ondwa. And anyone in the audience who knows how to say those properly, well done. So, little flight across India. We've left the Saudi Arabia and so forth behind us now. We've taken a little bit smaller planes. It's actually raining as well. Oh, sorry. Hello, Grant. How are you?
Hello, Andy. I'm good. No, I was enjoying listening. It was.
Yeah, cool.
You just reminded me
So,
to turn my weather on.
yep.
Let's see if it is
Yeah,
raining.
yeah. So currently it's actually seven. We're playing real time, sort of, but it's actually 7:30 in the morning local time rather than where we are. And it seems like we've got an alternator set now. The barometer is set. Plane's ticking over nicely as far as I can tell. I've got fuel, which is a new feature of
Oh
my
yes,
flying.
it will be worth checking. I've got fuel, won't it? Good,
Yeah,
good, good call there.
I think the only bit, actually in real life, you probably just don't want to be stung by it ever. But
What,
let's not
running out of
pretend.
fuel?
Yeah, I know. So that's not the way you're supposed to learn.
No.
It's by the fact that you run out of fuel.
And yes, it's
I
raining here
think
with me too. So I concur.
cool.
The weather
Stroke
synthesis is making it rain.
taxi. Okay, cool. So your um, branch just over the road there on the tarmac as well.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
showing me as a jet, and I'm not a jet. Where are you? Behind me?
I'm behind you, yeah. So we're literally opposite each other in the which is nice. Opposite each other.
I can actually see you in the proper model. I think you're quite a
Oh,
long way
cool.
behind me.
It's quite a big thing. How do I make it so it's using GPS instead of nav? Is this that plane that doesn't do that? Probably is.
I don't think the Piper does it.
Yeah.
There's a
Okay.
rainbow. Look behind you. There's a rainbow.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a rainbow.
That's because it's gone a bit bright. Well, that's okay. I can follow the green lines.
Let's see if I've got a route. Oh, the route looks a bit weird actually.
Yeah, I bet it's gone wrong. So if I show you what the route should look like, because I think mine's still okay.
I think it's just the
Hang on a
direction that we're
sec.
taking off.
Oh yeah, no, it does do a really sharp hook. Don't try and follow the hook because it'll kill you.
I think it's just the
But
way it's doing the yeah.
yeah, that was little navmap did that. It thought it was cool, but they might tell us to take off a different way anyway. We've got to go to the other end of the runway basically from where we are.
Yeah.
So when you're ready, we shall head
I'm
out.
I'm ready. Do you know where we're taxiing to? Have you been given instructions?
I haven't asked anyone yet.
Okay. Go on. I'll let you ask.
So it's like I know what I'm doing. Request IFR clearance, is it?
Yeah.
Ground services. Go back to clearance. This is
Request
doing nothing.
request taxi IFR.
Niner X-ray with Golf ready
No,
to taxi IFR.
ATC's not talking to me.
I'm not getting. Oh yeah, I'm getting it back.
Taxi to and hold short of runway 05 via taxiway Alpha.
Hold
Yeah.
short of runway 05.
118 decimal
So what did you press? One.
Request taxi IFR. Number 2.
Taxiing hold short
I haven't
runway
got taxi. I've
05
got request
via
IFR
taxiway
clearance.
Alpha 6
Yeah,
Niner
do that
X-ray.
first then.
Yeah, I did. Nothing. Is that because my radio's off? Probably, actually. Hang on a sec. That'll make a lot of sense. There we go. That was very realistic.
Cool.
If you can't hear anything, turn your radio on.
Normally
We won't
ATC
talk
won't
about
work
Discord.
if your radio's
It
not
didn't.
on.
Well, it was there. It won't work. Okay, cleared for VA1H. Report airport as filed. Take off runway 23. Climb and whatever.
Runway 23.
Yep.
I've been
Which
given runway
is-
5.
Okay, that's the party then.
That's all right. Well,
I bet your map got messed up. on the way in. So if you just want to have a look, I'll open mine. You can see if you've got the same thing. Because it seems to sod it up every time. So you should have something like that.
Where's the map? Oh,
It's
under.
the foldy
Yeah.
picture thing.
Yeah.
Looks like a map.
Show me the map.
So you should go VAAHORAPI
Oh, I do a big loop.
UUD BAV1.
I seem to
Yeah,
have
if you
a
zoomed in, you'll
big
see
loop.
that. Yeah, well, that's normal. But worry about the main route rather than local route.
But that looks like it's the same as yours, doesn't it? I can't zoom out
Can't
any
see.
further than that. Looks like.
Well, you can scroll it though.
Yeah, I've scrolled it.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep.
Okay. Right.
It's not been good. Right, I've got to request a taxi then. You going to go?
I'll find my
Okay.
way.
Delta 554 with Golf ready to taxi IFR.
Oh, there's you. Actually, the jet was in front of you. There's your model.
I'm just about to. I'm just pointing at you now. If you're that blue plane that's just moving.
Taxi
Yep.
2 and hold short runway 2 tree using
I'm guessing we're
taxiway
going this way.
Alpha, cross runway
You've got the
2
blue
tree,
lines on your one.
I've got the blue lines on. Yeah.
Which way are you going? Left?
Yeah, you're going the right
Toward-
direction.
Towards the... Yeah,
But
figured I was.
I'm going to runway 5. Remember?
Yeah, that's all right. We've still got to get to the runway.
Okay.
I don't know why we're doing different runways, but...
I
doesn't matter.
don't.
Cool. Where's the taxiway gone? There's a guy here on the side. What have you got? Right. Oh, there's the taxiway's come back. Cool. It's nice to see some weather for a change.
Must be unusual to have this weather.
So, runway 23. So I've got to go left.
What are you using to find it? Are you using a map?
I'm using this, yeah, little nav map. Zoomed in.
You're about to. Wait! Hello.
Huh? Oh, careful.
Easy now.
We're going to meet in the middle anyway. Probably.
Are you is it the other end of the runway? We're literally going to be doing a fly into each other.
Yeah, again.
Someone's having a giraffe.
Giraffe. Let's just pan around to see you. I should maybe steer a bit first. Hang on a sec. Whey!
I've
Sorry,
stopped.
there. You cut to my camera just as I was just doing it wrong.
You've been on your camera for ages. It's just the stream is so far
Alright.
behind.
Oh, it might be, yeah. There's you over there.
Why aren't you giving me clearance to take off then?
I think he was saying I could go. You got to wait on the runway. You're not on the runway, are you?
I stopped.
Okay.
Right, I'm ready.
Well, hey, I got to steer for a bit rather than looking at the map. I don't really need 3,000 feet of runway, to be honest.
Cleared for
So
roll. Cleared for takeoff.
I might go for now. Right, see you in the air, boys.
Okay. Who's taking off first? You?
Yeah, you're probably already there, aren't you?
I'm just about going. I'm just taxiing onto the runway, so I shall flick over to me, and then shout when you're about to take off, and I'll flick over to you.
Okay. How do you tell them when you're going to take off?
I've told it. I'm clear to take off.
Yeah, but that's what I said was how you tell it.
Go back to the IFR and request clearance to take off.
Okay. Doesn't seem to have an IFR.
On the ATC,
Oh, thanks. All right.
it's quite a long runway. This.
clear for takeoff. Yeah, I don't think we need anywhere near as much runway as we had last week. It's quite nice to have the change though.
Right, I'm taking off,
Go on then.
and then I shall flick over to you. Right, so I've got me little wheels in the air. I can stay in a straight line.
I'm keeping off the runway for you. I don't trust you.
Right, I'm in the air. You're
So
on.
definitely shouldn't be on the runway if you're there as well.
You're on.
Okay, we're off. We've flown this for a while.
It's very foggy out there.
Okay. Wheels up.
Are you up?
Yep. Heading towards the city. We'll turn in left. Just get stable. So I set the flight to 3,500, I think. But you can go higher or whatever. Right, we've got to turn. Turn to my left. Back on the route. Acknowledge handoff.
Decimal
We're with Mumbai already.
554. Mumbai Center Piper Alpha November Delta
Let's zoom out
554
here.
is passing 2,300 feet, climbing 3,000 feet.
So you're probably going straight onto the vector from where you came off.
I don't think I
having to
did.
turn back on myself.
Climb 3,400 feet, Piper 554.
Yes, guarantee. Cool. It's nice to see some different scenery, actual rivers and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a busy old city, isn't it?
Well, she's insisting on flying at 3,500 feet now.
Yeah. Fair enough. It's a busy city. Wait till we get to New Delhi though.
Are you on your course?
Yep. Well, I'm going towards it.
Mumbai Center Piper Alpha November Delta 554, requesting vector to next waypoint.
I've got a bit of a problem with my course because of that loopy loop over the airport. Let's see.
You're alright, actually, you should be going towards it now.
Turn left, heading 04.
Because you went off the right end of the runway.
Piper 554.
Well, at least for the route, anyway.
It still did a circle around the runway. I'm heading back over the runway
Right.
for a minute. Just trying to work out where I am. Oh no, I think I'm en route.
You are.
Okay, I am en route. Yeah, okay. Heading towards ORAPI. Should have looked at that first, really.
Yeah. You're probably autopilot, so. So this is India. Much nicer place. Oh, careful.
It's actually very green down there.
Yeah. Lot of agriculture.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS Yankee runway 23.
Right, how fast are you flying?
Get accommodated. 120.
Right, I better slow down.
I can go faster, but I'm in my. Yeah, I can go faster.
Let's see, I level off at 130.
Yep.
Your camera's set really a long way back, isn't it? From your dashboard.
I've moved back so I can see it all.
I have to sit on my top of my dashboard to be able to read it.
Oh, right. No, this is fine.
Well, I think the glass cockpits are not as easy to read
No.
as a gauge. You know
It's
what I
solid
mean?
line. Yeah, I agree. Trim myself.
I'm just cleaning my glasses, see if it'll help.
Now that foggy bit that's on your glasses is actually in the game.
Oh no, that's much better. It's not as foggy as it looked. Greasy fingers all over my
Oh yeah.
glasses. That's better.
That is a pain, isn't it? Glasses there needs to be some sort of magic thing. I've worked out like using washing up liquid and water is the best way of cleaning them. Unless alcohol rubbish doesn't do anything.
It doesn't, and I only ever use glass cleaning cloths now, and nothing else,
Yeah.
because they scratch him.
Just kitchen towel works though.
No, I think a kitchen towel scratches them.
Yeah. Not noticed any scratches, it's more just dirt. But since I can't do anything, I can do stuff without them, to be honest. It's just out of focus.
Close work, I don't need glasses still.
Yeah, I'm the opposite way around. So I can drive and whatnot without glasses, no problem. But when I look at code, I can't read it.
When I'm fishing, my varifocals are good for anything other than when I'm trying to get out of a tangle, and then I have to look over the top of them to
Right.
get out of a tangle. They're just
Yeah,
not crisp enough to get out of a tangle.
Yeah, not big enough window. Really.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So
So
I have
mine-
to take them off for the tangles.
Yeah, I can't wear them for coding. They do my head in because you have 3 screens like this, and you can't see all of them without moving your head.
I know.
Whereas luckily
So-
these ones I had from a previous incarnation, and they're really good for. They're not varifocals. They're set for computer work,
Yeah.
and they're really good for that. But I do still have to change glasses. So when I go downstairs, I go to the varifocal mode.
Yeah. So
Getting old.
So-
No, not really.
it's all the electronic work I've done in my life, I think, that's made me short-sighted.
Yeah.
All the close work has made my eyes lazy, and I only want to do close work. Which isn't bad going though, considering I've got to this age and I can still do close-up work without wearing glasses. It's normally the other way around.
Well, I learned I needed glasses when I went with. Oh, you probably don't know Dan Heim, but I went with him to it was a makers meet, and there you have to solder up a circuit board, and this was probably about 8 years ago, and
Yeah.
my one thing is it was fluorescent light, but it wasn't that bright in there. But also my soldering was appalling to the point where he said that would be good if you actually got some solder on the pins. I thought, okay,
Not
But
enough heat.
not enough pointing the soldering, the solder, whatever it's called, actually on putting it on the pins itself rather than next to them, because I
Yeah.
couldn't see. It wasn't about heat at all. It was just like the soldering iron was miles away from anything. So that was a good measurement of success. And pretty much the week after that, I thought I'd better go get some glass, got sponge.
Mm.
And everything's so bright and clear.
Yeah. So yes,
Just annoys me that everything's got a frame as well.
everything's got a frame.
Yeah. If you have these ones aren't bad, but when I had Ray-Bans, you end up with. I really like the Ray-Bans actually, but you end up with a silhouette of where the frames were all the time. So you can almost see the frames even though you got them off.
Oh, I see. Well, I've got quite a few frameless glasses, but you don't get. You can still see the edge of the lens because you're looking sideways through the lens.
You need like glasses that are this big.
Yeah. Yeah, then
But-
you won't be able to see them.
But then you look like Elton John and stupid. Contact lenses probably wouldn't be a bad. I don't know. For me now, contact lenses is probably too late. I don't know.
I just couldn't get on with putting them on and off, and they make your eyes sore,
Did you try them?
tired. I did try
Yeah.
them, quite a while ago.
I don't know if they do them clever enough to be able to do short and long sighted. Anyway,
I don't. Do they?
I
How would that work?
doubt
Is it
they do.
right over
Yeah.
your pupil? I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
that would
can't see
work.
how they could. Really.
Yeah, I think you just have to decide where you want them.
Or you have contact lenses for the one that you hate the most, and then you have glasses to correct them.
I've worn
I
glasses
suppose.
for so long now. I'm just used to wearing glasses.
I'm okay with it. It just annoys me that they get dirty. Hence the start of the conversation.
You climb 3,400 feet.
You need an optigraph though. Steve
Yeah.
Martin style.
I am at 3,400 feet. Oh no, I'm not.
Have you done your barometer through as well?
I did. It's changed since we took off.
All right.
It's just changed by to about 1,500 feet pressing the B button.
Yeah, same for me actually. What's that about?
I don't know. Is it supposed to change mid-flight? Have we got that setting switched on? We must have.
Well, it won't auto change.
I want to
Yeah.
know why my co-pilot didn't change it. Why didn't you change it? That's your job.
It just follows you around. Doesn't do anything. Pitch your plane up a bit, get some height. So as always, I'm following you. So
Well, I was going really slow there, so I'm surprised you haven't caught up with me.
I'm in 120. I'm trying to gain some height. Let's have a look and see if we can find a VOR while we're here. Might as well do that.
Why are you trying to climb so quickly?
I'm glad it's cooled down a bit today, up here anyway. This room was a little bit bad about 4 o'clock.
It was horrible. I was this after I went out and made some fishing rigs. So I went down the
Yeah.
back and I was just checking some stuff, and I came in and I was soaking wet, and I'd only been out
Yeah.
there half an hour.
Yeah, it's quite nice though, in a way. Oh, 114.9 apparently.
What is?
There's a VOR sort of on our route, 104.114.9. Might be too far away though. Not go clonk.
Lovely meandering river down there.
Star 9019er, you are 25 miles northeast of Ahmedabad.
Just going to fly over a
Maintain
lake.
present heading and altitude. Contact Ahmedabad Tower on 119.6. Maintain present heading and altitude.
Right, how much fuel have I
Tower
used?
on 119.6 with star 9019er.
Changing over to the other fuel tank.
Already?
Yeah, there's a significant difference between my little two arrows.
Alright.
If anybody's curious, I'm circling around where my fuel's shown. Top arrow is the tank I've just switched over to. The bottom arrow is the tank I've been using. And you are supposed to try and keep those balanced as you fly. It keeps the plane
I guess
balanced.
so. I guess so. Good point.
I don't think there's any such thing as being too imbalanced, is there?
No, because that would be really bad. Because
Yeah.
if you accidentally flew everywhere on one one tank, and then oh bollocks, I need to swap over.
Well, no,
You'd be dead.
normally I'll do the whole flight and only remember to change over right near the end, so the plane would be really unbalanced. But I've remembered, so I've done it.
I'm not sure the physics handles that well. I thought it was going to be cloudy on blue.
It's a little bit cloudy over my right wing.
Yeah, so
Out there, it's
hazy.
a little bit cloudy.
Light rain.
Yeah, hazy.
Yeah, all right. Maybe it will suddenly change again in a minute. Does that? Flying a little bit.
Anybody joined you in chat? I've put my chat window up and mine's gleefully empty.
We are we're alone, or we got some nice people lurking perhaps, but I can only see one viewer. So if you are out there, hi, welcome to the stream. We do this every Thursday around 7:30 UK time, and we're slowly working our way across the world.
It's quite nice to be actually over somewhere you can look at again, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, desert. It's amazing how much difference there is in the. I mean, we literally flew across that gulf, and you've got completely different geography.
It literally is desert, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty harsh, really. We're going to see some of that again when we get up to China, I think.
Desert, but that's desert more of a barren, bleak wasteland rather than sandy and hot, isn't it?
I don't know. I've not really looked. It's quite built up here and there. We might surprise ourselves as to how much we've underestimated what China looks like.
Yeah, indeed.
There was a good story today about some builders that are working near the Chinese wall. One bit of it. It's 13,000 miles long, that thing.
Yeah.
And they decided they wanted a quicker route to get to work, so they cut a hole through the wall with a JCB.
Oh yeah, I heard it. I heard that.
And they can't fix it because it was too damaged. Who are these people?
I heard the story about the hole in the wall. I didn't hear it was workers did it.
Yeah, some builders that decided, two builders that decided there was a quicker way to get home or something.
It's quite wide. It's quite thick, that wall as well, isn't it? It's not like it's
a
few
ridiculous
feet.
Thing. 1 million deaths making it or something like that. Apparently.
Nobody really knows that, do they?
No, they don't. But you can just look at how long it is and what technologies were available at the time to kind of estimate, I think.
Yeah. There's a few hills out there, look, in the distance.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a mountain range on our left as we come across, I think. Nothing too high. I think little Navmap wanted us to go about 500 feet higher than we are, but not because we hit anything, just because of safety. I couldn't understand why the route was complaining about impossible in this plane, but it was still set to the Neo's 21,000 feet.
Right.
And it was like red alarms everywhere. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh yeah.
Are you manually flying?
Yeah.
I thought you was finding a beacon to fly towards.
Oh, I've set it, but I'm not using it necessarily.
Right.
It's not actually showing up yet. Let's have a quick look. Maybe I've got something switched off. Down. Yeah, that's not. Why isn't that lit up?
There must be a bit of wind because I'm sort of crabbing a little bit to stay on the line.
I didn't switch it on.
How fast are you going now, by the way?
Do what?
How fast are you going?
120. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I just don't want to keep flying away from you, that's all.
Right, let's see if we can get something on the screen. I'm off course a little bit. Yeah, about 130. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Oh, why you suddenly? What? Oh, wow! Something's making my outer meter go all over the place.
Mine just
What's
did
that
that.
about? What's that about?
I don't know.
You see it?
Mine's doing exactly the same thing.
Wow, that's strange.
Look.
Climb and maintain 17,000 feet QNH 28.76.
Yeah. Weird.
Minor X-ray. You are
Yeah, it's literally
900
bouncing
feet
all
above
over
your
the place.
current altitude.
Yeah, now she's moaning I'm 900 feet.
3,400 feet QNH 29.12.
Isn't that weird?
Descend and maintain 3,400 feet 69er X-ray.
No, something's going on.
It's literally going way 45. Okay.
Oh, it's got better. It's stopped doing it now.
Descend and maintain
Yeah, it's settled now.
17,000 feet in
Oh, that was weird.
That's weird. That's weird. That can't be anything to do with you and me then. That's got to be to do with the environment.
heavy descent and maintain
Yeah, maybe it's got some weird gap in it. How strange. Still,
I think
like
that
us.
was a telemetry thing from the Microsoft server.
Yeah, it must have been.
8,000 feet Italy 2033 heavy.
That was funky, man. Continue.
Didn't know how
Fine.
but the air traffic control was moaning at me because I wasn't maintaining height.
And
I don't
suddenly
know
you
what
were.
height I am.
Go high, go low, go high, go low.
Exactly. Just as you said it, mine was doing it, and I thought
Yeah.
I'd done something. But you said it.
It was really pronounced on the dials. And go, oh, okay.
69er X-ray.
Uh,
Please expedite your descent 3,400 feet.
I am 3,400 feet.
Italy 2033 heavy. You are 2
Well, mine says you're 4,300 feet.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect
Looking at the
vector
window.
No, I was too high.
tree approach.
Yeah,
Pressed the B again, and now I'm dropping again another 1,000 feet.
yeah. I just did that.
Something weird going on with
Maintain
the.
present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS Yankee
This
runway
this weather thing doesn't change the atmospheric pressure, does it?
I shouldn't have thought so.
Because that would affect altitude.
Italy 2033
No.
heavy descent.
What's 330? What's that mean? Well, it's got pressure actually.
It could be the telemetry from that broke it then.
Yeah, it does have pressure.
Descend and maintain 9,000 feet Italy 2033 heavy.
What we're being told to do? Get to 3,400 feet.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
I
It
will.
says I'm back on 3,400. That's a better view from down here anyway. It's quite nice out there to the left.
Hmm.
No idea where you are because I don't have the little labels on.
So if you look at me, you can see where you are and work it out.
I've just hit the first waypoint and I'm turning left
Cool.
over the peaks of those little mountains actually.
Yeah, there is. If you look at my screen,
Oh, I can see. No, I can't.
there you go. Look. If you look at my screen, you'll see the peaks you're going to go near.
Yeah. Point forwards a minute in your plane. Look forwards. Oh, I look like I'm miles in front of you. Speed.
But if you've just
Backed
gone
up
past the
again.
waypoint, you are. Hang on a sec. You are four nautical miles in front of me.
Oh, only 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've just gone past the waypoint.
Yeah. I just turned at the waypoint.
Hmm?
Trying to throttle back a bit.
Some height here, please.
Oh, I've really leaned it up.
Hmm?
That's just playing with my mixture. I've leaned it all the way down. Probably wouldn't give me much power for climbing, but it's fine while I'm sitting level. Let's put it there. It's more comfortable.
Steady as she goes. Got any numbers on there? No. I think we're too far away from that beacon. We can actually set the one for the next waypoint, which is Udiper. That's actually quite a big city. 115.9, I think. It's not very helpful, is it?
If I was flying over to a left slightly, I'd be flying up that valley, and I think that's the way it's going to turn. I might go to manual mode for a minute. I'm going to fly over up this valley. Leave altitude set on autopilot, then I can just steer where I want to go and not worry about how high I am. So I'm just deviating slightly off the route.
No deviation.
Just looks like this river runs in the direction we're going anyway.
Yeah, pretty much actually. Not far enough to go the whole route though.
It's been a while since I've actually flown a plane manually. It's quite nice. Forget how brilliant these controllers are. These controllers are brilliant, everybody.
Yeah,
if
we only mentioned it about 15 times, but if you've got any money spare, buy the honeycomb things, because they're great.
Because if you're not buying them and you're sitting on the fence going, oh, I don't know if they're any good, they are brilliant.
Yeah, simple. Forget your tracking headsets and VR.
Oh, free screens are brilliant as well, but you don't. I think if I was going to just do one, it would be the controllers.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Free screens. I'd have a different story if I had a 49. But I like your frame rates.
You like your frame rates?
Yeah. There's a whole good discussion about that today. I think it was on Reddit that kicked off pretty much everywhere about why the latest consoles and things are aiming for 4K when they should really be aiming for maybe 1440 with 60 hertz instead, because it would be a much better experience for everyone. But
2K.
because they've sold everyone 4K TVs, they kind of have to have a 4K console. People understand the word 4K, but they don't understand if you said it was 2K, they'd hate that. But if you pitched it along the lines of the frame rate's amazing, the refresh rate is amazing. But yeah, so all these 4K games, which you can hardly play that are any good because they drop like crazy. They just eat resources for everyone. They're just giant terrain maps. The individual texture maps are 4 times bigger, and PCs just aren't up with it.
I think with gameplay, 1080p is actually probably more than enough. Because
yeah, I'm alright with 1080p. It's just getting. It depends what game you're playing, because some of the ones with lots of UI, you end up running out of space because they get too small and the resolution's not good enough.
Yeah,
so 1440 is sweet spot at the moment, I think. That seems to work on everything really well. But yeah, you know, it's actually Baldur's Gate. It runs really well on pretty much anything. You can actually run that 4K because it's really well optimized. But it's also not a Soul game. That's I'll talk about Starfield in a minute, but that shows it up a little bit.
Playing EVE Online is good in 4K because you get that extra screen real estate for all of those graphs and charts and things that you want. That's nice. Low res, you don't have a lot of space for that. But the actual graphics that you're looking at and the gameplay itself makes absolutely no difference.
No. I think this is a funny one where this game, you kind of really, if you're looking at a dash like I've got at the moment, or even the glass dashes, you really do need some resolution to be able to see those. So if you start turning on things like DLSS and so forth, it just looks like a blurry mess and you can't look at it.
Yeah.
It's a weird one, but this is fine actually down to about 15 frames per second. It's still okay. I think I'm probably running a lot better than that. But I don't know. I think we've got another couple of years before we get to the point where we've caught up with the sort of higher end gaming machines again. Affordably.
I've been working.
We can catch up tomorrow if we had loads of money. But
I don't know the difference between the 4 series and the 2 series that I've got.
Yeah. But you've said,
it's
not
not
different.
Because
I think it will be a different.
Because this is a 2080. The only graphics card in the 4 series that really makes a big difference is to go to the 490, the 4090, and then you'll see some big graphics changes. But the cost of that is ridiculous.
I know. It's coming down, but it's still a lot. It's a 1,600 quid bill.
Yeah, for a graphics card.
And then you're starting to think some games. Well, actually, most games are graphics card
hungry,
yeah. But things like this starting to get into the CPU land. So, and then you end up buying the whole kit again. So I'm okay for a while.
I think we can all agree that whoever programmed this, love you because it's great, but you didn't maximise people's hardware. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, no, it's not optimised really. You have to do you'd have to do quite a lot of work to make it really look good and work fast in the background.
Well, just using all the cores and processors and threads you've got would help.
Well, that's the next step, yeah. So hopefully 2024, which we've covered before, is going to fix a lot of that because they have said they've gone back to the core to do it. So.
69er X-ray, you are 905 miles southwest.
It's all good.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect
Well, I'm getting lower and lower here. Feels like it. Well, the ground's coming up towards me.
I think the ground's coming up.
It is. It's alright. It's not nowhere near low enough to worry about.
Visual runway. I'm not that close to the runway.
No, there is a runway where you're going. We're going over one before we turn to the next one on the next waiting point.
Right.
We've still got a long way to go.
Does the route bring us straight into the runway, or do we have to fly over it and work it out ourselves when we get there?
Pass. You should come straight into it, actually. No, you should come straight into it. 5 nautical miles out, I set the approach.
Right.
So, assuming they're coming in from where we want to, should be fine.
So talking...
Got a way to go, though.
Talking about watching watching some YouTubers. I've been watching the difference between them in 4K and 1080p.
Yeah.
And one I was watching today that I thought was 4K wasn't. It was only 1080. I think the difference is the camera lens. I think the difference you're seeing is not the resolution, it's the camera lens.
There's a lot of that. I mean, Marcus Brownlee spends a lot on camera lenses, but he's interested in that. He does his car show using just a phone. He uses an iPhone or a Pixel and does it from that.
A lot
so
of
it's
people
kind of
do.
a totally anti-technology one. It's really cool. But you can tell a good camera for sure.
I just don't want to take the Sony to the riverbank.
No.
Because it's still a great camera.
Yeah.
I'll buy another GoPro. The GoPro, so I changed over to a GoPro 9 and got rid of the cheap one I had.
Yeah.
And the difference in quality, the lens on the GoPro is bigger to start with, and the quality is great. The GoPro.
But it doesn't have a short depth of field, does it? Because deliberately it doesn't.
It's much cleverer how it does the wide. You've got a really wide that does a little bit of fisheye, and then there's a few settings that will do wide but without the distortion, which is what I shot the last lot on, and it looks really good. And I think I could probably shoot everything. All right, they're £250, but £250 for that as opposed to £1,000 for my phone or over £1,000 for a Sony Alpha.
The difference for me is that it's not so much the lens width or anything like that. It's the focal length and the ability to adjust aperture.
Yeah.
And you just don't get it on the GoPro, I don't suppose.
No. Well, for what I'm doing and what I'm using it for, the GoPro
you just want a wide-angle shot all the time.
Just a wide-angled shot, and you can put it somewhere. You're not going to worry too much about it. But yes, for what you're doing sitting here in front of it, I might I might bring the GoPro up because the GoPro does connect to the computer and stream as well, which the other one didn't, and use it as a third camera maybe at some point, and we can see what it's like. I think the problem with the GoPro is it struggles a little bit in low light.
Yeah.
So unless you're really well lit, the Sony and your camera, I've barely got any lighting in here.
No, the only light I've got is the map on that screen.
And I don't like being overly lit anyway. I don't want to scare everybody, but I'm adequately lit.
That's quite a good album. It's quite a good album name.
What? Adequately lit?
Adequately lit.
It is actually, isn't it? It should have been a Pink Floyd album. Yeah. Adequately lit.
The Pink Floyd tribute band.
Yeah.
I always wanted to have a band called Blind Summit. It always struck me as just like a really good name.
Mm.
But then I ended up with Danger of Death instead, which is based on Danger of Death, obviously, but with intellectual presumptuousness.
Look how cool the hills are out here, though. Lots of
The
little
ones
ripples.
you can see.
All these little ripples.
Descend. Again,
I've just decided that I would look out the window and share with everybody my view.
Yeah.
And talk
Welcome
about
to India.
what we can see out the window. Anyway, I did my usual thing with buying a camera and bought a cheap one and then sent it back. So thank you, Amazon.
Well, at least you sent it back, I suppose. But cheap stuff never works. There's no point. You might just go for the one you actually want.
I think the problem is, I think it's very difficult to rely on people that review on YouTube. Because
YouTube,
the cheaper one I got.
It depends what their view is.
Got some really good.
Yeah,
they got some really good reviews. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you compare, all right, so the cheap one was 150 quid, and the GoPro 9 that I bought was 250 quid. So it's a fairly big difference. But the quality that you get from I just don't think anybody that's shooting film, even if it's just for personal use, you're always going to be disappointed with what you got with the cheaper one as compared to what you got with the GoPro. It's as simple as that, and I think that's all that needs to be said. Yes, you can save yourself 150 quid, but you're just going to live a life of constant disappointment.
Well, that's life at the moment, though, isn't it? The more you spend, the better you get, often. So
I think it is. I always try to buy cheap and be a little bit, but I nearly always end up regretting it.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I did it to myself. The view was that I could buy 2 of the cheaper cameras for 300 quid, because I want to end up with 2.
Well, you
And
have
I'm
to settle on. You have to settle on what you get for that money, don't you?
The GoPro 9. I'm
And
going to say this now.
and we're well known for settling on what we get. Obviously.
The GoPro 9 will shoot footage up to 5K 30.
Yeah.
5K 30? Is that right?
That doesn't sound right.
Or is it 8K 30? No, I think it might be 6K 30. I don't know. I'll have a look tomorrow. But it does more than 4K, which the other one wouldn't do. The way it does the lenses, the way it handles the light, the way it records the audio, everything is superior. It's worth the 100. If you want to buy a budget camera, the GoPro 9 is the one to get. I don't know why you'd want to buy a GoPro 10 or GoPro 11, to be honest, because the extras they do for resolution, no one that's shooting it to go on YouTube or stream needs those extra resolutions.
Yeah, but is it resolution or is it things like CCD, low light and things like that that make a difference?
Maybe, but the GoPro 9 is more than good enough.
Yeah.
More than good enough.
Cool.
And the difference in price between a GoPro 9 and a GoPro 11, again, is almost twice as much again.
Cool. We've got
Anyway.
a VOR on the...
So
thing
GoPro,
now.
if you're watching...
33 nautic miles. Yeah, GoPro.
If you're
I'd like
watching,
to try one out.
I need another number 9. I need a number 9, a GoPro 9. I'm
Number
not being
9.
greedy. Just pop one in the post.
Yeah. Don't think it works like that, I'm afraid.
Find me at fishingviews.co.uk. Contact details there, GoPro.
So tell us about fishing views. Might as well introduce the world to it.
So on every Friday I go fishing,
Yeah.
and I've decided, well, for a long time I've been wanting to film it, and I think there's a glaring gap in people not covering the venues rather than focusing on how they fish and what they're fishing with. I'm focusing on the venues themselves. So that goes live Friday, fishingviews.co.uk and Fishing Views on YouTube. Be my first video. I don't think it's too bad considering it's my first effort, but the second and third will be better, and as we go on, everybody can sit and watch that grow, hopefully.
It would really be cool to have people getting involved and telling you their feedback on their... Would you like feedback on other places to see to balance it against that, or are you looking for people to tell you where you should go to try?
I want it to be interactive. We were talking about this earlier. I'd like it to be interactive so that I could include other people's thoughts and feelings on it.
Yep.
My only problem with it is that when you give the ability to be interactive, you end up coming across the monsters of the internet. So I want to do it in a way to avoid them.
Yeah, if you use... it's about having a thick skin and ignoring the things you don't want to respond to. And there seems to be a 50-50 view on things like YouTube comments. Some people just don't read them at all. No, more than 50-50, because there's 3 ways that I've seen. They don't read them at all, and they just carry on, which I think is a bit head in the sand, because there could be good feedback in that. The other one is you read everything and get really upset about the people that hate you. But I think you've just got to ignore the trolls. That's that. And it depends whether you can do that or not. And literally ignore them. Don't. Actually, one I saw the other day was Truey, and she's a good Twitch streamer. And she had someone basically saying, "You're playing the wrong game. You shouldn't be playing that."
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, actually, you've engaged with me because I'm playing the wrong game as far as you're concerned." Which is exactly what I want: is someone to talk to me and have an audience. So you being a troll has actually helped me. So thanks. So that was quite a cool bit. And then the other thing I've seen is other people just read and respond to the first 20 or so comments and then give up because you can't keep up with it. And it's a nice place to be to say you've got more than 20 comments. To be honest, that's quite a long way off from a number of users, unless they're all 20 comments from the same person or bot, which is rubbish. But,
I think what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to leave the comments on YouTube.
Yeah, I think so.
So I will leave comments on YouTube, and yes, I will ignore the monsters and the horrible and the haters.
Yeah.
I don't care about the haters.
Try and get thick skin and just ignore them, I think.
But anybody that posts something interesting and useful, I will then copy those comments onto the website and put them under the article
wicked.
so that they stay together. So you won't be able to live comment on the website, but any good comments that come in via YouTube, that are about the venue, I will then post within the comments below, but it'll be
Excellent.
manually compiled by me.
It sounds like a really good idea. It's going to work. I think it's going to work really well because it's a good fit with what you like doing, what you're interested in technology-wise as well,
Yeah.
and you'll learn something along the way as well, which is great.
And to
Well
be honest,
done.
even people that criticise the way I fish, I'm more than happy for people to criticise the way I
Yeah.
fish if it's done constructively.
Yeah.
I already know that I'm going to get people saying, "Oh, you took too long to land that fish," or "You're not doing that right," and "You're not doing that right." But what I will explain to those people is the whole channel is about pleasure fishing. It's not about match fishing. If you want to know what someone match fish,
just
there's
don't get
hundreds of
defensive.
people.
Yeah,
Well,
don't
it's
go-
not, but it's just that
No.
they won't understand that I am about enjoying the
Yeah.
fish. I like taking a long time landing a fish because that's
Yeah.
part of that's the fun bit. The fish on the
Yeah.
end of the hook.
Yep.
I could yank their heads off and get them in the net really, really quickly by using more powerful elastic, but that's the fun bit. That's the bit I enjoy. I get why in match fishing they do it because all the
It's
time they're playing a
numbers.
fish,
Numbers
not
and
catching
numbers
another
and
fish.
numbers.
But I'm not fishing to go and catch 200, 300, 400 pound of fish in 6 hours.
No, that's cool.
I'm going to enjoy myself. And that's
Yeah.
what I want to appeal to people. I want to appeal to the people that go to these venues to enjoy themselves and not match fish, because there's actually more people do that than match
Yep.
fish. And
Yep.
I don't think the pleasure fishermen are being catered for, so that's what I'm going to do.
Wicked. Really good. Congratulations on getting that going.
Thank you.
Excellent. Cool.
Where are we?
We're not far away actually. From the first, this next waypoint is 21 nautical miles. For me, probably 10 for you.
I've got 17.5 miles to the next waypoint.
Right. Yeah. I'm just using a VOR to tell me. So I'm in 1960, me. Doesn't mean to say I can land any better.
Well, I might do, because I'm in this plane. I'm reasonably competent at flying this aeroplane. He says before he crashes it into the runway. I might fly over the runway and just gauge where I want to land.
Bumpy.
I'll do a proper line, fly over a line and then come in,
Yep.
rather than trying to fly straight in. Which is, I think, how 99% of people in these aeroplanes would probably land anyway.
Well, if you've never been there before, I would think you would.
Yeah, I think you would. You'd fly over, check out which is runway 5, runway 8, or whatever it is.
Yep. Well, that's that whole, which we don't do, is that whole loop. You're supposed to fly parallel with it and whatnot. I should actually go back to the training and learn that again.
So what I do in this aeroplane is I will always set the bug to be in line with the runway, so that I can use the heading bug to tell me whether I'm parallel and stay in parallel. And just doing that means it doesn't really matter if you can't see it left or right or behind you, because the heading bug gives you an idea of where roughly it'll be. That's quite cool, coming out over the top of that hill. It's quite flat and there's quite a few houses and stuff down there.
Probably a bit that floods all the time, unfortunately.
Just switch to it now, that's quite cool.
Descend and maintain flight level tree 60 Etihad 258.
Not super populated, but a few little houses and roads and that down
It's
there.
quite a good, quite a big city, the one we're going over in a minute.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice lake down there.
Kind of picked the routes. We flew over that and then went to a small runway because it wasn't really enough time. If you just landed where we're going, it was too short a run. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see something we're heading towards now.
This almost looks like a crater or something, doesn't it? It's not like.
It does look like a crater.
Mm. Could be, I suppose.
You're catching me up slowly, aren't you?
Probably not.
What speed you doing? 125. Pretty much dead exactly the same as I am.
Alright.
Well, that's right, I didn't want to keep flying away from you.
That's okay. Up to down. Wait. No, no.
Changing over tanks again.
That's a good point. I haven't done anything like that. Let's have a look. Yeah, got used to that quarter of one tank. So initial Starfield review.
Yes.
It's definitely not a flight simulator or space simulator in any way. It has really good ships. The design inside the ships is excellent and things like that.
Yeah.
But you don't really fly them that much. The in space, the shooting is kind of somewhere between No Man. It's kind of arcadey, I suppose.
Yeah.
In a way, it's a bit like No Man's Sky from the shooting point of view.
Well, it's
But
a
if you ignore-
first-person shooter.
It is
Oh,
a first-person shooter, but but no, this is with the spaceships themselves.
Right.
So you can fly external or internal, but if you ignore the space stuff, the actual game itself is kind of Skyrim in space.
Right.
But in a good way. It's got a good story. It looks like it's got a good story behind it. The FPS shooting side of it is really clever. It doesn't have the VATs that Fallout has, so you can't lock on. But
Right.
with a keyboard and mouse, it'd be better than controller for sure.
Yeah.
But I like it so far. It's on. I don't think it's. I think Baldur's Gate has spoiled it for me because Baldur's Gate is so good. But I think it's spoiled every game for about the next 6 months.
I think Baldur's Gate is just so hard.
It's not though.
It
It's
is.
just really good. Have you tried it? It's not hard at all.
It's the game. Oh no, what am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Baldur's Gate.
Gate is really really accessible.
Hold on, I've got to look it up now. I'm getting confused. Maybe I haven't played Baldur's Gate.
You haven't because it's new. It was the one I was playing a month and a half ago. And still playing.
Oh, that's
Got years to go.
looks like an adventure type game.
Baldur's Gate is what they call
Dungeons
it?
and Dragons.
Yeah, it is Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and
completely
Dragons.
in a game. I think you'd like it. You should have a
Yeah,
go.
I might have a go.
Really. It's really good. But
Is
I
that
don't know
on the
what one-
Sony Pass?
It's not on Game Pass now.
Oh.
It's you have to buy it, I'm afraid.
Oh.
But it is well worth the money. If you want to set aside some time to a game, that one's the one. It's got so many ways. The story's really strong, and it's got so many paths through it.
Yeah.
And they're all very. It's not random as much as role playing. So it's Dungeons and Dragons, so it's based on dice throws. A lot of it, but it's got 170 hours of pre-recorded cutscenes. But you don't see them all. It's just the number of options.
Yeah.
You end up doing it. Love it. I think it's really good. And then I think I'm more than happy to go between the two. Because Starfield looks like it's got a lot to do in it. Awful lot of shooting though. There's no shooting in Baldur's Gate. You're basically turn-based combat, but it's a lot of okay, this guy's got spells, so he can use spells to weaken the enemy. It's really tactical once you get into it. I think that's the game of the last 2 years for me. It's so clever. So there's a high recommendation.
Just flying over that runway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good. There's
doesn't
one
look
for the
like
winter
I'm-
if you haven't got time.
Doesn't look like I'm 3,000 feet, does it?
It doesn't, no. But I'm on 4.5 apparently, so I need to get down.
How high is this off the ground? How high
Yeah.
is this runway? Do we know?
I don't, but something
mean-
does.
I'll gauge it when I get there then, because I don't know how much to drop.
That's not the runway you landed on.
No, I know, but sort of on the final leg now. I've just turned over that runway.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Elevation. It's really hard to read on here. So low risk.
She's moaning at me because I dropped 400 feet. Let's request that I go a bit lower. See what she says.
Excuse me, I don't know how high that is.
Request IFR clearance.
You're turning off a funny way.
Oh,
Oh, it does go that way. It's all right.
visual runway 36. What runway are we coming in on then?
36. Yeah, there's either
Center Golf
36
Alpha
or
Papa
180.
69er X-ray requesting vector to
Or
next waypoint.
18 rather. And we should be coming in on, hang on a minute,
Heading 075.
Yeah.
48 it's 48 miles though, by the way.
Turn right heading 075
You always
69er
runway 18 we're coming in on. But she might say something different. ATC might disagree.
No,
with
I think we're set for a flight instrument landing. By the
Maybe.
look of it.
Maybe. Yes, ILS. You can take over a bit manually.
Because it says cancel IFR. So
Yep.
we're coming in on an IFR. So I wonder if this is actually going to bring us straight in then.
Should, well, if you're using GPS, it should do.
Let's have a look. We'll see. I have to say now we've got this technology sorted and we're back to just flying again, everybody. You know, love you
Yeah.
all. We're here sharing our Thursday flights that we've been doing for quite a while. I'm chilled now.
Yeah, it's just like we used to. It's cool. Nice Thursday evening. Karen's back at choir again next week, so
Right.
not that it made any difference.
So Thursday nights is my introduction into the world of streaming and YouTube now. I do this and then I go off and shoot some footage tomorrow, and then try not to spend the whole weekend doing editing. I'm going to try and
it's really
fit
hard,
that in the afternoons next week. So we'll see.
It eats time, doesn't it? You'll get used to it though. I think it's, I don't know, maybe the first one not so true, but I still think it's whatever. If you do an hour, it's 3 hours of editing, whether you like it or not.
I think capturing the footage in the right way will help as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So again, I've watched somebody else that's doing it, and he's wearing a chest cam.
Mhm.
He wears a chest cam, and I
must-
think
That must be horrible. That's like one of those police webcams they use.
well, he has a fixed camera. Yeah, so he has a fixed,
Yeah.
and he was using GoPro 9s actually. He has a fixed one that he sits and talks to that can sort of look what he's doing. Then the chest cam is actually showing what he's doing. Now I don't know whether people would like that or not. All my cameras are currently static, but the nice thing about having the camera on your chest is because the GoPros are pretty decent at catching audio. That could catch all the audio as well.
Yeah, but well, you know my view on that view. I just don't like it. I think it's too rough and ready.
Yeah, I think if you look at the really professionally
If
shot
we look-
ones, they
You
don't do
look
that.
like you're being assaulted every 5 minutes.
At the moment, I have a cut because I use my phone and a GoPro at the moment. I do move them around as well while I'm fishing, just so that I'm capturing a few other views because that helps break it up.
Yeah.
And if I fish down the edge, I'll move it so you can see me fishing down the edge. I mean, ideally, the trouble is if you've got too many cameras, then you just spend all your time thinking about what the cameras are looking at as
Yeah,
well. And I don't want to get to
don't
that.
worry about
Two, I think is perfect. One looking over my shoulder, sort of like Y1 does, and I think the pole cam with it looking straight down the pole but out but stay stationary works quite nicely. Which not many people do. You can tell me when it goes live tomorrow what you think of it, of that first cut, and I'll be interested on your feedback and anybody else's actually. Constructive feedback though, not it was shit.
That's constructive.
If it was, I want to know why.
Tell me why, yeah. Right, so the VOR's no use anymore.
Well, she still wants me to be 3,500 feet.
So it's a little weighted open.
I don't think the air traffic control's got a clue. How far away am I? I'm still 35 nautical miles away.
Yeah, but I said you're always preparing a bit too early.
I told you if I flew a real aeroplane, I'd be preparing to land as soon as I took off. I'd be constantly I wonder if there's such a thing as landing anxiety.
I think that's common, but I don't think it kicks in as soon as you take off, though.
I think for me it would.
Otherwise you wouldn't take off.
I would definitely be an OCD pilot.
all
Delta
they do is say go lower
requesting vector
all the
to
time.
next waypoint.
Turn right, heading 70 degrees. I think I'm already at 70 degrees. 71 degrees.
Turn right.
I think that will do.
What's 71 degrees?
70 degrees to my waypoint, and which is I'm on 71. They told me turn right a bit.
Right.
All right. Well, I'll set the heading over to it.
So,
Just for fun.
so some of the clever things that I've got configured on spad.next that I'm not sure you can do normally is that if I press and hold the heading button on the top, it'll automatically move my heading bug to the direction I'm going. That's quite a nice feature, actually.
That's not flying.
It's how they work in the real aeroplanes, apparently.
What?
If you press and hold the heading button.
Not on this plane, it wouldn't.
Not in that plane, but the planes where you've got a dial to turn the heading bug, you can also press it, which will automatically set the heading bug to the direction you're going.
Oh, I see.
So you've got a dial that will turn the heading bug, yeah?
Yeah.
In the real aeroplane, you'd be able to press that, and it would automatically be going in the direction you were going. So if you wanted to
you
quickly,
mean it just moves it around to the compass point you're pointing at?
yeah. So if you quickly wanted to do a fly in the heading you're going while you did something, you could
And then
press
go a
it and
couple of
turn
degrees.
autopilot on, and it would just
I
keep
suppose
going
that
straight.
makes sense. Yeah. I think that might be what that.
There might be a button on your dash that will do it.
Turn right.
Is that one?
070.
There's this one.
554.
Don't think so.
Because a lot of the older planes, the autopilot just flies to the heading bug,
Yep.
which isn't a terrible way to fly. You just have to be more focused on actually where you are and when you're turning. So you could
Well,
use,
so you need a stopwatch.
or you could use a GPS on a tablet or on a phone,
Yeah.
and just know that when you've hit a certain waypoint, you need to change your bearing to that.
Well, that's the timed way of doing it as well. If you don't use GPS, basically is if you do it's what they call it on there. There's like bush tucker trial type thing, or it's just called a tucker route or something like that, bush route.
Yeah.
And there they give you fly this degree for 3 minutes at this speed, and then you turn to this. That's the old way of navigating.
Right.
But you do need a map, or at least you need a plan to say I'm going to go here, and then you have a few visual points to make sure you're where you think you should be.
Yeah.
So 3, 4.
So having a look at little nav maps.
Still high again.
So we're landing on runway. What is that? 18?
18. Yeah. Which is south, basically.
So looking at
It is
the route,
south.
well,
It's not even basically south. It is south.
well, we're landing flying northwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of south.
Yeah, I know. But you're flying north. You're not landing south. You're flying north. When you're landing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're going to the south runway.
36. I would argue 36 is the south runway.
Depends on your view on life. To get to 36, you would fly south.
Yeah. Yeah, I always look at it. I mean, because the numbers are the degrees of the runway anyway, aren't they?
Absolutely.
So this isn't guesswork. So runway 18 is what? 180 degrees?
Correct.
Which is due south.
Yeah. That's what I said.
And 36. I'm curious actually. 36 is 360 degrees. Then I'm curious that they name it 36 and not 0.
I think it's just easier to read.
Probably is.
You know, I've never seen a 0. I've not often seen an 18 and 36. To be honest.
No, that is really unusual that it's
A lot of
exactly
27s
north-south.
in the world. Yeah. This runway is actually looks like it's associated with a big family. Because
Right.
there's a house and farm area that has got their name on it.
Right, I'm going to turn my head into my bug to 180 so that I'm pointing the right way for the runway.
You're not turning yet, are you?
It doesn't make sense actually. No, because I should be turning to the left to land. Oh yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah.
miles away from it.
I am 21 nautical miles away
Yeah.
from the next turn.
We're flying. Where's the compass?
57
round-
degrees.
Yeah, 50 odd, 55 degrees, something like that.
Yeah. In fact, it's dead north south in it, so I probably didn't need to do this, the bug. I've just moved the bug round to the S. I just realised how stupid that probably was.
Oh,
But
oh,
hey, have a routine and don't deviate from it.
that's true. I just saw some thunder.
I thought I saw something. It does look like
Yeah.
it's raining out there in the distance.
Moderate thunderstorm coming towards us, or going the other way around. We're going towards it. Oh, it's going to get exciting.
I'm going to upset air traffic control a bit more by dropping down another 500 feet. Which, looking at it, I think is only actually 1,500 feet from the ground.
Yeah, it's not that far away from those trees right now.
So I'm just going to check little nav map again and see if it tells me how high the runway is. The runway is... How high off the ground is it? VA1H. That's a funny number, isn't it?
VA is, I think that's India. Or maybe just the area India you're in. Gujarati. Flashing lights, I mean.
I think the one runway is 1,366 feet.
Yeah,
Up.
sounds about right. Oh, right. Okay.
I
That
think.
doesn't sound right.
I think that's what that number means.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, otherwise it's 4,000, and I don't know. Normally they tell you how
Oh.
high it is.
I thought it'd be lower than it's elevation you're looking for.
Yeah, 1,366 feet. It says it right
Oh,
at the end.
1,000. Oh, right. I heard
Yeah.
3,000.
So 1,366 feet.
That
So
sounds sensible.
so your deck is 1,366. So yeah, 2,500. I'm only 1,000 feet. No wonder she's telling me to climb a bit. I might go up a bit. Get back at 3,000.
Descend and maintain 3,400 feet, Piper 554.
Niner X-ray, please expedite your climb 3,400 feet.
It's not going higher.
So how far out are we now? 14.4 nautical miles.
We can start seeing things now then.
Probably at about the right height to turn in and come straight in, so I probably may attempt to do that. Speed's nicely under control, I'm not flying along.
You're flying along.
Yeah, but I'm not zooming along. Yeah, very good. I am flying along, but not zooming along. It's getting
Still
very
getting a
dark
bit-
out there.
Yeah, it's not the nicest weather, is it?
God, we are landing. Yes, it's thundering out there and lightning
Yeah.
out there.
What's the weather looking like? It hasn't updated since where we were, but
I'll leave it on there. See if the lightning.
about
flashes
11
again.
knots. 11 knots on the ground.
Right. But this is supposed to be really what the weather's like, really, isn't it? Really?
Well, it's what it's like in wherever it's looking at right now, and it's actually looking at where we took off. So for me, anyway, it hasn't updated.
Oh, is it? It doesn't update as you fly along.
It should do, but it hasn't. It hasn't for me.
It's just really.
What does it? Does it say VAAH for you?
Where is it? Yeah, it says VAAH.
Yeah, so that's where we took off from. So choosing that as a weather, I think.
Don't know. But I think we could be landing with zero visibility looking at the clouds in front of us. I can't see the ground. Can you see what I can see? Like, we're going straight into really low
A
cloud.
fog bank. A fog bank. So right, 70 degrees.
This could get interesting.
Sun's come out.
Anything
It's
can happen
still
in the
foggy.
next half hour. Did you? I caught a YouTube video the other day of these nutters trying to remake Thunderbirds in exactly the same way as they made them originally.
There was a series that was done like that.
There was three.
Japanese one.
These are British people.
Right.
There were 3 records that were brought out back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, there was. I had one of them.
That were episodes, and they're going to turn these episodes into real episodes because they've obviously got the voices and everything on them.
Yeah.
And they're actually doing it properly with puppets and the Super Mario Nation. I'll see if I can find the link to it because it was fascinating. And the people doing it that were quite young, obviously movie students or whatever. They're going, the things we've learned that you'd never learn doing anything else.
Well, you're basically directing a film as well at the same time. So one of those, I actually had one of the LPs because I think my dad bought it or something, and it's Perils of Penelope, and it's all based on a monorail that's crashing. Quite a good episode, and I didn't realise it wasn't actually a TV episode. It was just the radio broadcast.
They've done 3 of the records they had.
Right, that would be cool.
They've got 3 records, so because they've got the voices on them, they don't have to worry about the voices, and they've recreated all the puppets, and they look exactly the same. They're brilliant. The amount of work that must have gone into making it. So yes,
There was a good TV series which was Japanese English, and that was the same thing. They did it with puppets mostly. There was CGI here and there, but not much.
Yeah,
that was really well done. They modernised it a little bit. Cool. Turn right. 110.
I think I'm going to run out of FPS.
X-ray runway in sight.
Runway's in sight? You got bionic eyes, Mr. Co-Pilot. Can you see it? Are you looking at the stream at the moment? Can you see anything out of my front window? My co-pilot's just told air traffic control that he can see the runway. You're lying.
Hotel Traffic Golf Alpha Papa 69er X-ray.
We got any lights on? That'd be nice.
Runway 18. Victor Alpha 1 Hotel Traffic Golf Alpha Papa 69er X-ray is on final runway 18 to land.
Apparently I'm on final.
Alright, cool. Congratulations.
I can't see anything.
Oh, lightning.
Lots of lightning. Lots of thunder. Thunder and lightning. I should write a song about that. Where are you? Are you in it yet?
I'm going into the mud, yeah. Right, I've just handed over to local Varanasi Centre. Varanasi Centre. It is, I think we'll go lower. Because I don't like this lightning, it's flashing all over my screen.
You can't go too low though, remember, because the runway's at about 1,400 feet.
Yeah, but I can see the ground. Runway in sight, yeah.
Can you see it?
Apparently. Nope.
No, nor can
It's
I.
on my left somewhere, according to Little Nav Map.
Turn left, heading
025. Really?
Oh, I
Okay.
think I can see the runway now, just out of the left window. don't know. It should be over there.
Visual runway 180.
I don't think the plane's following the route anymore.
Do with this cloud not being, I think that's come down to 1,000 and see what's going on. 9 miles out. It's not so bad at 1,000 feet.
I think
helps.
that's the runway there.
2,000 feet.
I should be just turning for final. There's the runway! I can see
You found
it!
it?
I can see it! I think that's it. A long straight line in front of me.
It's a good
How
guess.
far are you behind me?
Not far, I don't think, because I'm turning as well. Maybe 4 nautical miles. I'll slide on final, whether you like it or not.
Right, so who's going to be on camera?
You can go on camera today.
Oh, why is that on? Go away.
I can't see. No, it's cleared up anyway. That's nice.
Yes. We turned out of the clouds.
Hmm. Some height so I can actually see the runway, I think. But you, what are you doing all the way over there?
Who?
Oh, I see. Okay. I can see the runway. I need to come along over a bit.
I feel like I'm a bit high.
Luck. Good luck out there. Don't forget your undercarriage.
Don't have undercarriage to worry about on this. So many years ago, there used to be a flight simulator that ran on the ZX81.
Yeah, I know. Imagine how good our imagination was.
It still felt like you were
Didn't-
landing an aeroplane, though.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? It's like the Amiga Interceptor. Is it called Interceptor, I think? And it was basically a F-18. And you landed on a carrier.
Yeah.
And I still remember to this day, you have to remember that you have to be 55 foot up. Because that's how high an aircraft carrier is.
Yeah.
It's great.
Or you flying to the side of it.
But imagination's amazing.
Yeah.
Look at Elite. That's another one. That we didn't care that it was just lines.
Oh. I'm down.
You're down. I can see it. I'm coming towards it. I'll put my feet on the rudder there. That'll be good. So I think this runway was built by the family for themselves.
Yeah, I'm going to go and park over here. Just get off the runway before you fly into the back of me.
Is there any parking?
Well, there's a plane parked here, so I'm going to park next to it. Looks like a Piper. This is the only parking because this is where the guys are. Oh, there's fuel over there.
Move it over a bit. Oh, nice. That was a pretty good landing. Bit bounce towards the end, I think. So I've pulled up too far.
So if you see those buildings you're just flying past,
Yeah.
that's where I've parked.
That wasn't too bad. Where are you parked? Oh, sorry, mate. Suddenly the people arrived. Got some fuel. That wasn't too bad. Quite a nice area as well. Feels like Britain, isn't it? You can see why England like India.
It's nice here.
And then they went. It's actually really quite hot. I don't like it.
Don't like it.
So,
Like your spices.
I like it. I particularly like the very cheap slaves.
They're very cheap slaves.
Well, we basically taxed India, didn't we?
Why are you struggling to get up that bit? Is there a lump there?
I'm not going struggling. I'm putting brakes on.
Oh.
I'm trying to get lined up with this man who's waving sticks at me.
I ignored the man waving sticks. It was not a lot of wind actually on the landing.
I don't think so. If you look at the wind thing, it wasn't much. That'll do. Cool. Oh, sun come out. Let's stop him. Seems unlikely. So what's the wind stop doing? There's nothing there. 5 knots. Cool. Another leg completed.
Indeed.
With no stress.
No stress.
Nice.
The stream looks like it went nicely. I've just opened me hatch there so everybody can. Can you actually see me?
I don't know. So,
As the proper
where
model
are you?
anymore.
Are you right by the runway, parallel?
Let's have a look, see what you can see. So look to your right.
That's you there then.
There's a plane. No, not behind you. Look over your right wing. I think I'm the plane that's the furthest away.
Oh yeah.
Oh
with
no,
the
that's
canopy
me.
up
No, that's me.
in the middle.
Can you see my canopies open?
Yeah, I think so. Hang on a sec. Maybe I was imagining it. No, I can't see it.
That's the right plane model, though, at least.
Leave that there for the. That's a good shot for the stream.
And funny enough, the van that's parked there on my is actually
Is
a
that
plane.
your van?
No, it's a plane.
Oh,
though.
right.
Look, it's a plane, but on yours, it's a van. Ooh,
Oh, right. Well,
spooky.
it's the magic of multimedia, multiplayer simulations.
Magic, yeah, magic.
Brakes
from
are
two
off,
persons'
blah, blah,
perspective.
blah.
Yes,
Power it all down.
I've shut off. I think off. Yeah, it tried to duck me out of the game, so I must have shut everything off. That's it.
I turned that off actually.
I'm ready for a ruby.
Yeah, another day.
Ready for a ruby.
Nice like this, Mr. Grant's Games and Gear stroke
Dangerous
fishing
depth.
thingy. Yeah, see you next week in flying on from here. I think we might make it to New Delhi next week.
New Delhi.
Maybe if we both have RB14s. But we'll see.
How far is Taj Mahal then?
Taj is not that far from New Delhi, but it might not be on the way to it, so we might do it on the way out of
Okay.
there.
Okay.
But, I'm just guessing because I'll tell you the route I took to get to it. It was pretty nuts when we get near it.
Okay.
But yeah, talk about a stranger in a strange land for sure. All right,
then.
my friend, have a good evening, and I'm going to go and get a nice cup of tea.
Thank you everybody for watching. We'll catch you same
See you
time,
now.
same place next week. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.